Hi, this is Miss Jenna from Brand.blog, a social media and digital marketing company. And I have been really horrible about doing these Facebook Lives. I've missed 2 days. And for that, I'm a little sorry because I'm really trying to keep these up for my own sake and to create a great morning routine with my car in the shop kind of indefinitely right now with my broken engine. I'm trying. So today I'm going to mostly cover LinkedIn. So we've already covered Facebook and Twitter, and I'm trying to get an overview of covering the basics first before I get into the intricacies of each one. And most of y'all will probably use LinkedIn the most when you're at a point where you need a job and you want the reviews and you're trying to reach out. But LinkedIn has a lot of wonderful possibilities while you're in a position when you have your own business. It doesn't matter if it's B2B or B2C. It's certainly been known to be more specific and better for B2B, business to business. But as I've discussed before, all interactions are human to human. So LinkedIn is just one more cog in the wheel and a way to reach out to people that you may not normally be able to. So in this one, I'm going to cover how to set up your LinkedIn account to best bring in the information and the people that you want in a way that grabs their attention. And in the same way that we did with Twitter and Facebook, we're always going to be making an offer. It doesn't have to be a big offer. I'm not saying sell your product online. Absolutely not. That's the opposite. I'm just saying when they come to your LinkedIn page, you want it to grab their attention. You want it to jump off the page. You want to be seen, but more importantly, you want them to take action. Now, if that's hiring you because you're looking for a job, or it's coming into your store or purchasing your products and services, whatever that is, we want to get them down the path. So a lot of you are like, oh, well, my business is more to consumers. I'm not selling B2B. And I completely get that. But one of the best ways to market any product is to tell a story, because again, it's human to human. And if you're doing that really effectively, if you're really telling that story where it's not just about the product that you're holding, but it's also about you, and it's about the company, and it's about the culture that you're creating, then those customers are going to want to connect with you in other ways. Usually the first question I get is, who do I connect with? You know, lots of people are trying to connect with me, but I don't really know them. So personally, my Facebook, locked down. If I've never seen you face to face or have a great relationship with you online, like you're my actual customer, I've just never happened to see you, then we're not connecting on Facebook. That one's mine. It's where I share my family photos. You want to connect with my Facebook page, that's fine. But my Facebook itself, off limits if I don't know you. LinkedIn, however, LinkedIn, everyone accept. This is business. We're all just trying to get out there. We're all just hustling, just trying to put food on the table, feed our families, and thrive on LinkedIn. Someone would be offended if you're trying to sell to them on Facebook. On LinkedIn, they expect it. They are looking forward to it. They're trying to sell to you, you're trying to sell them, and everyone is trying to find those win-win synergies. So on LinkedIn, you can relax a little bit on who you connect with, because every single person that you're able to connect with, that could be a future business opportunity, job offer. You never know. LinkedIn has such great possibilities. So I'm looking at my LinkedIn now, and just to kind of go down, the first thing you're going to notice, let's start with your profile, because that's where people come to find you. One of the great ways that they give you an opportunity, whenever you make a comment, whenever somebody sees your profile, but even more like any comment you make whatsoever, is your headline, or in this case, just your name. So for me, Jenna Apgar. LinkedIn gives you this opportunity to put your name in it. It sees everywhere, and that makes sense, right? But what if you could do more with it? So in mine, if you go to my LinkedIn, and I will post the link after we're done filming, but I put Jenna Apgar, comma, in the first name spot. I get that all out of the way. If somebody wants to find me, they're still going to find me. My name's there. And in the second part, I put what it is I do. I put my title in a way that people can see. I'm like, nope, that's what she does. So if there's any interest or need, somebody immediately knows this is what I do. If I make comments on other people's posts, they know immediately. If somebody reads some of the articles I post, they see Jenna Apgar, social media and digital marketing maven. Boom. They know what I do. There's nothing. And just having that much, if they even have an inkling of curiosity, they're going to click. that's moving them down the journey. That's getting them from one spot to the next spot. The second spot, normally where the social media and digital marketing maven might go, I have turned social media time into profits. This can change depending on what I'm doing. I haven't been really focusing on LinkedIn this past month, but I had played with it from like January to June and had such great results. This is something that you might change depending on what kind of campaign you're working at any given point. So mine, turn social media time into profits. That's just kind of like my standard, because anyone would love to, you know, the 2 hours a day they spend on Facebook to turn that into money. Like, who wouldn't, right? But that's just the basic. If I were doing a full campaign, let's say if I were really looking to pick up new doctor clients who had an interest in marketing their practices, then I would specifically put something like social media marketing for doctors and dentists, or, you know, something very specific. And for that month on LinkedIn, that is all that I would be targeting and campaigning, and all of my other marketing efforts would be targeted towards that sect, and I'd be providing blog articles and social media posts that all went after that, knowing that at any given time you can change that piece. It doesn't have to stay specific to doctors or dentists, or I don't know, you can even get more specific and say specifically pediatricians' offices, or the boob job doctor. I don't know which one they're called. It could be, my kids are in Montessori. You could be specifically targeting Montessori. It doesn't matter. If you have a product that sells fitness, and for the month of September, you just want to focus on moms. Hey, you just put your kids in school. Let's get your body back in shape. Something to grab their attention and let them know that you are talking specifically to that one person. Because when you're talking to that one person, you can speak to them in a way that's much more personal than if you had something that's very broad. So those are two ways right there at the top that you can make an amazing impact very easily on LinkedIn that gets people's attention to keep on moving and stopping and interrupting their day. That's the first step in getting your client down the path, is making them where you exist, grabbing their attention and saying, hey, I'm somebody you're looking for. So scrolling down the rest, you know, where you're from, what you're in, those are kind of like the basics, right? If you've got one of those nice schools like Harvard, make sure that it's listed up there. And if whatever business that you're currently working with, you certainly want to make sure that that's up there. And the rest of everything down below, the way that LinkedIn is currently set up, can be moved and shuffled around given its importance. So for me, I have posts right on top, and at any given point, I can take whatever's on my blog content and easily move it over to my LinkedIn content. Now, I might do it in such a way that only half of the content is up there, so that they have to click over to my website, because it really is all about getting people from social media. These are just satellites, and I want them to get them to my home base. So definitely utilize the post, but make sure you have a great image, eye-catching, so that people will want to click on it in the first place. Snappa and Canva are both great options for taking all the different images you're creating and swapping them over to the right sizes for LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and all those different ones. So get those posts going. Like, do one a week. I mean, that's not much. And if you've already got the content, and remember, you can recycle. Like, if you've got 12, do one a month. Do one every 2 weeks. And nobody's going to remember the ones on the back end because they only see the 3 on the front end. So under that, the one that I have listed and the one that I think is the most important is your summary. This is a chance where you can tell them exactly what it is you do, but do not treat it like a resume. LinkedIn is not a resume anymore. Even if you are actively looking for a job, don't necessarily treat it like a resume. Or if you are, treat it like a very short, get the prime info in there and move on. Because all they want to know is, what can you do for me? And in your summary, that's a great time to say, you know, something that really catches their attention. You know, whatever it is that your client wants, give it to them. All you're asking for is an email address or a phone call. So I have an opportunity that I make just for the people on my LinkedIn that I will give them a 20-minute consultation. All you have to do is call me. We'll schedule a time. We'll get together either in person or over the phone. And for this one, I asked for a review. Just, you know, do that. But when I have them on the phone, it's an I've moved them down. They are actually talking to me, and I have a chance to get it into their head, find out what they need as far as their social and digital marketing, and be like, hey, you know, why were you interested? What motivated you to call me? I now know their problems. I'm not trying to sell them. I'm just talking about them. And everyone loves to talk about themselves. But I've now moved them from clicking on my profile, moved them down to my summary where I'm offering them pure value, but I have them on the phone. And as any salesperson knows, that time is extremely valuable. When you can get someone on the phone or in person and you can sit down in front of them, that's golden. That's where sales are made. It's where relationships are made. So utilize those opportunities in a way that it's going to work best for you. So I'm looking down mine. I actually haven't looked at it in a while. So I have a no-cost analysis for just 20 minutes of their time. That's one of the offers I make. And I let them know that's specific for LinkedIn. So you need to call me and tell me you found me on LinkedIn. And this is another way, by specifically tell them this is only for LinkedIn, I can know exactly how many people are coming into my funnel, my sales process, and how much money I'm making off my specific effort on LinkedIn. And it's always good to know your metrics, to be able to follow a chain and saying, this is how much money I make on LinkedIn, this is how much I make on Facebook, this is how much I make on Twitter, and this is how much I make on networking, where I'm actually in person. When you know that, you know where you and your business can spend the most time. Time is the most valuable aspect. And utilizing the 80-20 rule, you want to spend the majority of your time on the 20% that's going to make 80% of your profits. And you want to know if that's LinkedIn. I thought I had another one in here. I have them call me. I can have them email me. I have an automatically schedule, so if they don't want to take the time to call me immediately, I have a system where they can schedule automatically, and all they have to do is click on a link. Normally I have some other kind of offer, but since I'm not in the middle of campaigns specific to LinkedIn, I don't have that at the moment. So under there, so once you've grabbed your attention, you may or may not have even held it right there. And to be quite honest, I don't care if they go past that point. I would much rather them have them on my website, calling me, emailing me, getting me their information than reading anything below that. Because at this point, I've told them what I do. I've given them proof that I know what I'm talking about through my post, and I've made them an offer. So I'm going through everything. Now, the only thing that's of significance below this point that's worth having, you know, at different locations where you've been, whether it's your current position or your old ones, the only thing past this point that I really care about is proof that I know what I'm talking about, other than what they've read, but some kind of certification or education, and social proof where they can see where other people have written reviews about me in either past positions or preferably new positions. So I have my certifications. So I became the Certified Digital Marketing Professional, and that's the only one I listed. And I think I have my lead AP up there because when I'm marketing specifically to interior designers, construction tech, those people, since I have that background, that is a certificate that they know and respect, and they know it's not easy to get. So I keep that up there because being across an interior designer in construction and being the marketing side, I have that unique ability to cross market. So I have two up there. I certainly have more certifications. I'm not going to flood them with those. I just want to keep it simple to which ones are the very best ones, the most highly respected, and the ones that mean the most to my customers. After that, you're going to have your list, like your resume with all the different companies you've worked at. And don't try to hide that. Just throw it up there, and I mean, don't worry about your little blanks or your gaps, or, you know, a great way to fill in gaps is that, you know, you were consulting, you have your own company. I definitely believe in running your own company from start to finish. The moment you start in college, create your own company, whatever, if it's your name.com, whatever, create your own company and always have your own business. It creates so many opportunities to build yourself, and it always fills in those little employment gaps. You can just say, hey, I was working in my own consulting business. So don't worry about that, but more importantly, have a great description of what you did in each one. Don't think bullet points or lines, just think one short little paragraph that says what you did and your most important accomplishment while you were at that position. What was it that was just like, boom, wow. Like I had an internship with the Lot Group here in Dallas. They specialize in law firms and really big companies and organizations that are moving into buildings. One of their big clients was a, let's say, Fortune 100 company. I probably should name them out. but they needed something that was very unique. So most companies are looking for, the well-designed office. Well, this company had to build a plan B. If something happened to their office, or office went kaboom, or power was out, or something happened to their office, they needed a plan B because the government said they had to have it. They didn't have the money to spend on it. It was kind of an unexpected cost, and they weren't too happy they had to spend it anyway. And B, their designers are trained to do a specific kind of design. They're not made to think in plan B situations. Having just come out of the military and being an intern and really cheap, I was perfect for the job, and so I got to work for a Fortune 100 company, maybe Fortune 50. It's a really big company. And I got to completely do this huge space for them and work with them one-on-one, and it was incredible. And I was able to bring military and interior design together, which, who knew? So that would be an idea. So that's an internship that you may or may not include on your resume, but it was an opportunity to put something that's really big. When you get to work with that kind of company on that kind of scale, that's awesome. Include that. If you were a salesperson and you did 10 times the amount of revenue as everyone else, or you're a car salesman and you sold, you were the #1 car salesman with, I have no idea, like 90,000 units. Whatever it is, put your #1 accomplishment, the one that is amazing, the one you want to be known for, the one that is specific to what you're doing now, how it helps your customers now. Put that on LinkedIn. Then more importantly, reach out to everyone you knew that knew you during that time period and ask them to review you. That's social proof. And do it before you need it. You don't want to wait until you just lost your job and you're begging everyone, can I get a recommendation? No, use your LinkedIn as this great way to store those recommendations for when you need it. If you're ever going to be on your own and own your own business, have those things locked up tight. Boom, boom, boom. The nice thing about LinkedIn is it's not just like something you put on a website. Oh, they have a good product. They're great at customer service. No, this one has a name attached to it. It means something because somebody had to put their name on it. And any given point in time, somebody can went out there for a second. Somebody can go back to your LinkedIn and see where that person with their name attached actually said what you said they said about you. And that's incredible. That's the social proof that LinkedIn can provide well before you actually need it. You do not want to wait till you're desperate to ask for it. So always be working with those and always be offering some kind of value in return for that. So one of the things that I know we're working on right now with the Veterans in Business group that I work with in Dallas is we're going to get everyone together in one room and we're going to have a sit down, a working day, where it is nothing but people with their laptops out, their iPhones, their tablets out, and we're going to sit down and we're going to make sure that everyone has their Facebook business page and all their Twitter accounts and their LinkedIn pages, and they have everything that they need there. But then we're going to take it a step further and everyone's going to sit down, and if you've used that business, make sure that everyone's got those referrals, because that social proof is so key, and LinkedIn makes it so easy to put it out there and to keep and just hold forever. That one little piece of proof, that recommendation, can follow you for 2 decades if it's good and it's solid and it's got someone's name behind it that means something. Under there, I have like skills and endorsement. I find the skills and endorsement section more of a nicety that I can provide other people. Kind of like those endorsements when I've either already endorsed them or, just letting people know. Obviously, you want to put the ones on top that are immediate to your business. And just like asking for the social proof, it's good to rack those up. But I haven't known anybody who's actually looked on there and said, oh, wow, submittals. Oh, wow, social media marketing. They would much rather see the actual person writing the recommendation than just clicking a button. So better than nothing, something to put out there. Use them to help your friends out, but I wouldn't worry too much about them. Obviously, your education is on there. You want them to know whatever education you have. If you don't have education to put on there, that's fine. If you've done any kind of certificate training, so don't just limit it to college. Remember, there's a lot of different types of education out there that are unique and different and still very respected. So don't forget to put those out there. Have all your recommendations, groups, and people you're following. To me, this section is more important about monitoring what you follow. Just because you want to follow it doesn't mean that it needs to be on your profile that you follow it. So I have companies on there, and the only companies I really follow are my clients' companies, are the ones that I'm researching their competitors. But you don't want to be seen as following a company that you don't stand behind. So be careful who you like, because it can be a reflection of you. Same thing with influencers, and you can just delete this off your LinkedIn completely. What groups you're in, you can turn those off and on depending on which ones show. You can certainly work in these groups, and it's a great way to build that influence and that you know what you're talking about, that you are an influence in your industry by working in these groups. Just make sure that they're groups that you want to be associated with and that they're going to be of your time. So you can spend a lot of time in these groups without a lot return. So be careful of getting into the black hole. Focus on places where you can offer value, but you can also get return. So if you have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Oh, what am I doing? I only covered profile. Nix that. So the other great part about LinkedIn, there is a timeline where you can make postings. Keep it professional. No one on LinkedIn likes your person. They don't want to see your food. They don't want to see your, some of them like to see your sex pictures. You shouldn't have them on there. Keep it professional. Keep politics aside. Keep it focused on what your clients would be interested on a professional side. Go ahead and comment where appropriate. There's certainly, it's a great way, like we said, if we can set your name up with your title right next to it, this is a great way to add value, but get your name seen in a way that puts your title out there too. The next great one is their advanced search function. So one of the things you can do is look very specifically for different types of people that would be your ideal customers. So I might look to connect with people who are alumni at my schools, whether college or high school. I might look at people who are specifically owners or founders and work to find those people. But one of the tricks I'm going to do is I'm going to click that I only am interested in second connections. This way I have a little bit more flexibility about what LinkedIn allows me to do and not do. And there's two ways to go about this, and it just depends what you're comfortable with. One is just to look at their profile, because every time that you look at someone else's profile, LinkedIn is going to give them a notice that says, hey, Jenna Apgar was looking at your profile. And they're going to go to your profile and see who is Jenna Apgar. And they're going to click. And if you've done the title right, and you've done the subtitle right, and you have a slam and summary with great post, now they're on your page, you've grabbed their attention, and they're looking at you, and they're your ideal customer. That's awesome. The other way is you can straight up befriend them, but be careful of that. LinkedIn doesn't like when you befriend 500 people. So think strategically about it. If you go to in-person networking events, start with them. Go to LinkedIn and connect with everyone that you've seen in network. If you have your Facebook list, connect with everyone on your Facebook list, people that you already know, like, and trust. If you, like I said, start with your high school and connect with people from your high school, connect with people from UT, and you'll start to see your options be able to open out really nicely. But definitely stay focused on who your ideal client is and how much time it's going to take you to spend on there. So I manage multiple companies, so I feel like I'm able to spend more time on there because my time on LinkedIn can be stretched across several companies. I usually spend at least an hour just on LinkedIn every single day when I'm on top of it. And the rewards of that have been significant. Now, sometimes I get a call, I'm like, how do you know me? So it's been really great that I now have an office with a receptionist to kind of screen my calls. But the business that's come back to me has been really great. And I've pulled clients that I never would have thought that I was able to pull. And we're not talking little ones. We're talking $5,000 retainers for social media, digital marketing kind of stuff. So LinkedIn is a wealth of opportunity. I think I have some more training on my website for LinkedIn specifically if you want to actually go through something step by step. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up since we kind of covered the basics. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. Hit like if you liked it so I know kind of which way you want to go, since I'm just kind of learning how to get through this and what I want to offer and what you want and need. But definitely ask your questions because I will get those answered, either me or one of my employees. And let me know how, if you start making changes with your LinkedIn, let me know how that works out for you too. These changes have definitely worked great for me, but I'd love to hear how they worked for you in your specific industry. So have a great morning, a great productive work day, and thanks for watching. Bye.